In light of the recent Florida high school tragedy, shootings seem more commonplace across the country. In Texas, the governor says he wants to make sure incidents like this don't happen here. But as KXAN discovered, the state might not have the resources to adequately protect students.
Students and faculty at Austin's Aikens High School went into lockdown Thursday morning after reports a former student made verbal threats to shoot up the campus.
That's when I did contact my mom, and then I did start to freak out just a little bit because I wasn't sure if we were going to be all right or what was going on, because we didn't know what was going on.
The Texas School Safety Center is a research group based at Texas State University. Its job? Audit school safety. Parents like Suzanne Ritter say this should be a priority.
It's not good because our main thing is when you send your child to school, you're saying that it's a safe place.
Governor Greg Abbott Wednesday ordered the center to lead the way for research during this critical time.
It's essential immediately that we work with the Texas School Safety Center, review what the standards are, see the extent to which they need to be updated.
But Abbott's instruction comes after funding for the organization was slashed by nearly 30% in the last legislative session. The Texas School Safety Center says it supports the governor's call to action, but they'll be working harder with fewer resources. Ritter says safety is worth the price.
So we need to invest, because their children is our future. So we need to invest and make sure that they are safe and put whatever systematics we need to ensure that our students can learn in a safe environment.
The Texas School Safety Center was founded in 1999 by former Governor George Bush after the tragic shooting at Columbine High School. The center serves as a central location that provides training and technical assistance for K-12 schools and junior colleges across the state of Texas. They've seen budget cuts for years. From 2010 to 2011, the Texas School Safety Center had a $1.5 million budget per year. From 2012 to 2017, it had a budget of $1.35 million per year. The most recent funding cut affects the 2018 to 2019 school year, where the budget is now at $1.28 million per year. Morgan Burrell, KXAN News. Moms and dads, how would you like to finally attend that yoga class? How about that haircut that you've been trying to squeeze in? It's something most parents can relate to, but now KXAN discovered 2 Austin moms that have come up with creative childcare solutions.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
It's a playroom on wheels. A 30-foot trailer that rolls around Austin.
It's the answer to the issue parents have been having where they're not able to go to the workout class they want, the appointment they need.
Studio Sitter partners with businesses that don't have space for childcare. The idea was born after Becca Talkman had her daughter about 2 years ago. And there's video surveillance, but they are not licensed by the state.
So we fall into the same category as traditional gyms and church nurseries.
Becca teamed up with her best friend, and they launched last week. Now, you can go sweat it out or get a blowout.
We're trying to cut out that triangular pattern of having to drop your kid here, then go here. You're paying for a lot of hours that you really don't need.
Shelly Weiser with The Hive in South Austin understands.
Our goal is to have this be a mecca of everything a parent would need without having to leave site.
The graphic designer says her idea came out of necessity.
So I had some work that I was frantically trying to plug out, and my kids were screaming, my clients were upset, you know, and that evening I told my husband, I said, there's got to be a different option.
At The Hive, you can grab a cup of coffee, maybe some wine, and work while your children are watched. Weiser says you can also rent out desks and a conference room. Whether it's The Hive or Studio Sitter, these 2 moms say they just hope they can give parents some balance.
And at The Hive, 40% of its business comes from dads looking for help with their little ones. As mentioned, neither businesses are required to be licensed by the state, and that's because parents are required to stay near or on location for the short number of hours that their children are supervised. Morgan Burrell, KXAN News. It was an emotional day for friends and families as they relived events that happened almost a year and a half ago. Christian Guerrero, who lost her son and her husband in this crash, delivered a tearful testimony.
As the jury took their seats in the courtroom, Christian Guerrero prepared to take the stand. Hours before the deadly crash, they were celebrating. That day, the Guerrero family discovered that Christian's husband Fabian would soon receive his green card.
I still feel like this is just a really, really bad dream.
That's when Shayna Elliott allegedly drove drunk and caused a head-on collision, killing 23-year-old Fabian Guerrero and injuring his pregnant wife, who was just 5 months pregnant.
Showing my semblance to his father, he looked just like my husband. Got to look at his little feet, at his hands.
The unborn child did not survive.
On August 2nd, you made a decision for my family we had no say in. You made a decision for my son that his parents had no say in.
During the trial, prosecutors played the police dash cam video, where Elliott can be heard repeatedly asking about the crash victims, while struggling to pass a sobriety test.
Investigators say they found heroin, meth, and marijuana in her home. Jurors return here tomorrow to continue to listen to testimony. Reporting live in San Marcos, I'm Morgan Burrell.